Today, Christianity does not understand the true meaning of circumcision. They simply think of it as a medical procedure, circumcision surgery. Because of this misunderstanding, even Hebrew scholars have described circumcision as cutting the flesh of the lamb or cutting the foreskin. They define it as removing the outer skin, equating it with circumcision surgery. But then, what about women? Women cannot undergo circumcision. Does that mean women cannot be saved? The Bible clearly states in the New Testament that there is a circumcision of salvation. If circumcision is merely a surgical procedure, what should those who are born without the need for circumcision cut off? Even from a common sense perspective, this proves that circumcision is not about cutting the foreskin. In the Old Testament, the word baptism does not exist. There is a word for circumcision, but not for baptism in Hebrew. The origin of the word baptism actually goes way back to Hinduism. It comes from the practice of those who purified themselves in the Indus River, believing that washing their bodies would cleanse their sins. This ritual of washing the body evolved into a religious act, including hand baptism. But the Bible warns against such hand baptism. It states that those who undergo these hand baptism are no different from the uncircumcised. Yet, how is it understood today? Hand circumcision and hand baptism, these are the same thing. Modern Christians are engaging in the very practices they were told not to follow. They perform hand baptisms. Did you receive forgiveness of sins because you received hand baptism? Did it grant you salvation? Even within Christianity, baptism is not explicitly claimed to guarantee salvation because it is also somewhat absurd to them. If baptism in water were the means to salvation, wouldn't Hindus who immerse themselves in rivers for purification be saved more quickly? Wouldn't people who work in bathhouses washing their bodies daily be guaranteed salvation?
Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
Look carefully. Circumcision is mentioned here in Deuteronomy, right? In the time of Moses, where was circumcision meant to be performed? On the heart. So, does circumcision always refer to cutting the foreskin? Is that the truth? No, it is a lie.
John did baptize in the wilderness, and preached the baptism of repentance for the remission of sins. And there went out unto him all the land of Judea, and they of Jerusalem, and were all baptized of him in the river of Jordan, confessing their sins.
But what you are reading now has been altered. Originally, it was about receiving circumcision, not baptism, and it was not in the Jordan River, but in the wilderness. The Bible refers to the voice crying out in the wilderness. Since baptism requires water, someone must have decided to just say it happened in the Jordan River. What is the true sign of circumcision? The sign of circumcision is speaking in tongues, because the evidence of circumcision is tongues. If someone speaks in tongues without understanding what circumcision truly is, it is 100% satanic tongues. Circumcision was given as a sign of true repentance. But those who live by the flesh cannot receive true circumcision. So what did the deceivers create? They created hand circumcision. They created hand baptism. And today's Christianity is practicing this hand baptism instead of understanding the true meaning of circumcision.